Hello Internet, I'm Deanna Jean Pierce and this is my spiritual YouTube channel, The Faith That Grows. And today is my birthday, which is why I have birthday girl necklace here and some flowers back there. And today I feel a very powerful message wanting to come through. It's an ongoing message. It's been needing to be communicated for a really long time. It's gonna need to continue to be communicated and healed, and it's really about, this is a message to the consciousness of divine masculines on the planet, about the divine feminine, and the importance of respecting the feminine. And this could be, oh my goodness, there's so, I mean, sexually, emotionally, physically, spiritually, this could go into a lot of different things. But specifically, I want to speak to an aspect of the divine masculine consciousness on the planet right now that it's arrogance. It's arrogance towards the wisdom and the power of the divine feminine. Now, you can say things like, oh, I respect women, or girl power. You can say all those kinds of things, but there's a reason we still haven't had a female president of the United States. This might be super controversial. I personally believe sexism runs deeper than racism, which is why we've seen a person of color be president of the United States and not yet a female, a divine feminine. I know, that seems like, whoa, that's saying something. This is why I have wanted to host a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever feels good, healing sexism, healing discussion group for the Church of Union. The Church of Union still has me banned. It's been over 5 years. And I've had nothing but ideas and vision for it, and a desire to grow it, and all of these wonderful things I want to do, and be part of everything. But for some reason, I'm being treated like I'm an untouchable. And so I'm just going to talk about it on my own personal YouTube channel. Healing sexism is, I mean, I've seen it in my workplaces. I've seen it everywhere, in friend groups, and it can be subtle or it can be really in your face. And the thing is that women can be sexist towards other women. Women can be sexist towards men. Men can be sexist towards women. Men can be sexist towards men. Obviously, sexism goes both ways. I know. But specifically in this video, I want to speak to this really insidious, almost tyrannical energy. Not all masculines have this, I don't think. I've just noticed it in a lot of, I've noticed it a lot. And it's essentially this energy that wants to suppress the feminine, keep the feminine down, keep the feminine silent and kind of treat the feminine like, you don't really know what's going on. You're like, oh, that's cute, you know. But the divine feminine has so much wisdom and so much vision and so much heart. And it's really a shame when I see this playing out in any dynamic. So today I'm going to just kind of talk about this, just kind of speak to this. I'm also going to do a reading from the Divine Feminine Oracle Guidebook by Megan Watterson. And I also just want to say that, like, you know, you can be like, well, as a feminine, your job is to do your inner work and claim your space and lean in and all of these things. But it's also everyone's responsibility to notice if someone is being unfairly treated or suppressed or silenced and speak up about it. I don't believe in it's not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't believe in that. I believe in everybody speaking up and standing up for everybody. So if you notice the feminine being attacked or abused or suppressed, well, it's then your job to support that person. Because that's just what loving people do. So, yeah, let's do a little reading from the Divine Feminine Oracle. And, you know, it's sad. It's sad that on my birthday, when I should be feeling this divine feminine power rising within me, and I do, at the same time, I also feel this, like, clamping energy. And yeah, this is all divine feminines are connected across the whole planet. And, you know, we see this, you know, I went to the Kamala Harris rally. It was so nice to see how everyone rallied to support her. But at the same time, one thing that Dan said that is absolutely true, and I noticed it too, is it's like she never stood a chance because this like last minute switch was made, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, no, it's actually Kamala. And then everyone tried to, like, you know, but she should have had more stable, consistent support the whole time, not just like a sudden switch and then she has to like burn the midnight oil. That's actually an example of sexism. Is if you notice that God is coming through somebody, support them. If it's really someone else's turn to speak, shut up. I'm being very nice when I say that too. We all need to do better. You know, Taylor Swift recently, actually, I don't know if it was super recent. I just know that she screamed like, fuck the patriarchy, at some of her concerts. And, yeah. The feminine is rising. The feminine has been rising for quite some time. When you give men, you hand them the microphone and they have nothing to say. God's not actually coming through them. It's not their turn to speak, but they get the microphone, they get the stage anyway. That's, it feels bad. Let's give the microphone to someone who it's actually their turn to speak. God is calling them to share. It's not just, oh, here, go ahead. Talk for the millionth time. Open your mouth and let air flow out. I mean, freedom of speech exists. Everyone has free will. But, at the same time, why don't we practice giving the floor, giving the microphone to people, supporting the feminines more, giving them the space they need and recognizing where we're at in history and not turning a blind eye to it. Sexism is extremely prevalent everywhere. And it's real. It's real. You send your daughter out into the working world, and don't be surprised when they encounter sexism, sexual harassment, being treated differently, being overtly flirted with, being dismissed, being treated like they should take on the emotional labor of an environment, plus do the job they already do, and not get any extra payment for that. It's so important to be having these discussions, and I really hope the Church of Union lifts this ban soon, because for years I've just had so many ideas. I just want to be talking and healing and collaborating with everyone. And this ban that I'm facing is truly absurd, to be honest, to be totally honest with you. And I think that there's a lot of things at play with it. I think that there's partnership upsets. I think there are leadership upsets. I think there's a fundamental disagreement about what God is communicating, how God is communicating, when God is communicating, and what the appropriate way to truly expand this movement is. So, yeah. I am going to go ahead and shuffle these cards and see what message wants to come out. It comes down to social responsibility. I believe in social responsibility, 100%. I don't believe in turning a blind eye. I don't believe in looking away. I don't believe in willful ignorance. Like, oh, that's not really going on. Oh, honey, it is. A very large part of my life purpose in this lifetime is healing, helping the feminine claim more power and heal her leadership, and not get squashed, not get oppressed and silenced and all things like that. So, let's see what the message is. I mean, continued messages. In Haduana, the High Priestess, I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. The High Priestess. So, yeah. I mean, what is there to say? Okay. So, the High Priestess is often described as the guardian of the unconscious. She is that aspect in all of us that holds the veil of awareness that separates us from our inner depths. And Hiduwana is about merging the awareness of our soul and all the love and power it gives us with our individual personality or ego, what Swiss psychologist Carl Jung would call personality 1 and personality 2. And Hiduwana wants you to live and breathe your soul. She wants you to become so intimate with it that there is no longer any separation. And there are no more excuses or apologies for how powerful you are. Excuses or apologies. You are the High Priestess. You are this eternal, she whispers. Your holy heart is this legendary. And one of the reasons I really, truly want to discipline the divine masculine consciousness, that it's not enough to not abuse the feminine. It's not enough to not suppress the feminine. You have to actively support, encourage, nurture, and protect the feminine. That is what a healed, loving, divine masculine does. They protect, they nurture, they support, they give, so that the divine feminine can relax, feel safe, blossom, thrive, and radiate. And if you don't do that, well, you're probably not going to have a partner in your life. You'll probably die alone, for one. And you might make yourself okay with that and just brush things off. Be like, oh, well, love will find me one day. No, not if you hate the feminine and you're not aware of it. Divine masculines who secretly hate the feminine or view her as competition or something to be wrestled with, or like, you're not, like I said, you're not going to have a partner then. You're not going to have a good sex life. You're not going to have companionship. You're not going to have a family. You'll just be alone in your little delusional world of believing the whole world revolves around you. Now, speaking specifically about twin flame unions, as Jeff and Shalia teach, and also what I know to be true in my own heart and soul, is that The divine feminine and masculine are perfectly equal. God didn't create one of them to lord over the other. And so at all points in time, you want to get clear, who's holding the God? Is it my turn to speak? Or do I need to be in a more support role right now? If you insist on always being right and always speaking and oh my God, let that go. You've got to be humble towards the feminine. The divine feminine is sacred. The divine feminine holds so much vision. The divine feminine is I shouldn't even have to, I should not have to communicate the value of the feminine. But you see in culture that even if men think they don't value the feminine, why do we have so much rape going on? It's because the masculine does value the feminine on some level enough to try to steal it and abuse it. But we need to go to the next level. And there are certain divine masculines who are very healed and understand this. And if that's you, that's awesome. I'm speaking to the divine masculines who don't understand this. And those are the divine masculines that are alone and think they're so awesome and they have everything figured out and they have nothing to learn from the feminine. So I want all divine feminines to claim their power and keep doing that. Don't back down. So the next card is Zhuangzi, the Mystic of Peace. I am peace when my mind is clear. The way is clear. So what this is bringing up for me is that the feminine, when it's very hard for the feminine to, and I'm being honest, this is my experience. It's hard to, it's possible, but it's a lot harder to maintain peace as a feminine. If you feel constantly attacked or suppressed, or like you have to constantly kind of brace yourself, it's very vulnerable being a feminine. It's vulnerable being a masculine too, but I'm speaking for the feminine. I can't speak for the masculine. As a feminine, I always do my best to cultivate peace, but I will tell you, I face significant challenges doing that. If the men around me are constantly using their big divine masculine energy to suppress, attack, gaslight, mansplain, it's exhausting. It's truly exhausting, honestly. And I think a lot of the times masculines don't acknowledge or recognize when a feminine is actually holding more peace than them. It's possible. It happens. I have unfortunately seen way too much of this when I've been out in the working world, where the intelligence and the amazingness of the divine feminine is just like squashed, overlooked, attacked. And so as divine feminines, what this card is saying is just go deeper into peace, because justice will prevail eventually. But on that same thing, it's also it's also not okay to like stay in an environment where you're always gonna want to like learn how to set boundaries, and choosing real peace means letting go of things that seek to keep you down. So yeah, honestly, I'm like literally reminded of someone, a feminine that I worked with in recent times. This picture is actually literally reminding me of her soul and her spirit. She was so peaceful. She was so calm and loving, and she brought so much to the table. And her supervisor, who was also my supervisor at the time, just like kept like attacking, like, and I pulled her aside and I'm like, look, this is ridiculous. Like, are you okay? And she was like, no, I really don't like it. And I'm like, you say something. I will help you say something. And I did intervene. But it's just so sad to me. I don't. There's so much healing to be done in this area. Like, feminines don't exist for you to like just do whatever you want with. They're there because they have their own leadership, their own power, their own voice, and they need to just be respected and supported like any other person. Miao Shan, the Princess of Mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Okay. So, Miao Shan, she was the daughter of a king who wanted her to marry a wealthy man in order to secure more wealth and power for himself. When she refused, the king sent her to live in a monastery on a secluded island off the coast of China. When the king found out that Miao Shan had transformed the barren island into a paradise, he got so angry that he ordered the monastery to be burned to the ground. But when Miao Shan saw the monastery in flames, she pricked the tip of her tongue with a hairpin and magically summoned a storm that put out the fire. The king then ordered Miao Shan's execution, but no blade or sword could kill her. Instead, each weapon shattered into pieces before touching her body. After several attempts, a gorgeous glowing white tiger appeared and spirited Miao Shan away. The tiger took her to meet Yama, the ruler of hell. Miao Shan immediately heard the suffering of the souls all around her, and one by one she liberated them with the fierce power of her empathy. Yama had to send Miao Shan away because she was transforming hell into heaven. He gave her the peach of longevity as a gift. So this is, okay. This is about one of the biggest gifts of that the divine feminine brings as emotional intelligence. And men have emotional intelligence too. However, stereotypically, and guess what? This can be sexism too. But I'm actually just, this is something I've noticed, and I love open discussion and dialogue. So feel free to comment if this sounds sexist, but in my genuine observation is that the divine feminine tends to have more emotional intelligence. And that is a really deep gift that they bring to the table, is being more relationship oriented, being more aware of interpersonal things and how to bring bring things to resolution. So that gift should be deeply honored because it's a leadership skill. It is a leadership skill. To have empathy. It is a leadership skill to have empathy. And it is a leadership skill to notice, because no community, no team, no family can run very well without conflict resolution, without, really, it's the skill of mothering. And that gift should be equally respected in the working world as in the family. That mothering energy that a feminine brings to the family is equally valuable in the working world. So yeah, it's the things that men just kind of overlook and see as not important, the feminine pick up on, and vice versa. But the divine masculine consciousness on the planet is very immature in a lot of ways and needs to be humbled towards the feminine. Truly. So this last card was for me personally. Well, I'll share it. Akhilanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. This is what women are tasked with. And this is why men need to do better. Because women can speak up and do their spiritual work and set boundaries and communicate and ask for support. But at the end of the day, they actually just have to kind of choose to keep loving anyway. And that can be really hard when you face total fucking bullshit. It can be really hard. Don't let yourself get walked on. And keep going. I choose to become only more love. That's what we all have to do. That's what we all should do. It can be difficult though. So yeah, it's kind of a somber birthday for me. I'm gonna choose to enjoy my birthday. Dan bought tickets to see the Nutcracker Ballet, which has always been on my bucket list, and so I'm really excited to see that. But yeah, to be honest, I feel kind of somber and disappointed. I'm disappointed in the Church of Union for not listening to God through me for years and keeping good-hearted people out. I'm disappointed in the divine masculines who are failing their feminines by just being shitty, arrogant sons of bitches. I'm disappointed that Donald Trump is president. So, yeah. It's so embedded in society and culture to kind of pad men's egos and just kind of keep feeding their ego and keep rewarding them and keep giving them the microphone even though God's not asking them to speak. And other people, everyone would be much better served if other people got a chance to speak. It's yeah. The divine feminine is so wise and so loving and that wisdom and that perspective and that leadership needs to be deeply supported and nurtured. And it's your job as a masculine to do that for your twin flame, for other feminines. I personally believe in social responsibility. I personally believe in looking out for each other and sticking up for each other and everyone loving each other genuinely. And that's different than, that's a lot different than giving to someone at the expense of yourself or like all that stupid stuff. A masculine can't truly be happy without his feminine. And if he's going around promoting separation and essentially without actually saying it in these words, saying it in his behavior, fuck the feminine, that's really nasty. That's a really nasty consciousness. And it goes the same way. A feminine can't be happy without the masculine. This is the whole point of true balance and harmony. The discussion, the dialogue, the healing. And so I really hope that the Church of Union stops promoting and encouraging separation in certain students. And I really hope that the people who are still in separation take a good hard look at why that might be. Because it's not enough just to do inner work. You have to be a good partner too. That requires communication, respect, honesty. I mean, if you have the book Twin Flames Finding Your Ultimate Lover by Jeff and Shalia, they list out all of the keys to harmonious union. It's not just inner work, you're also partnering with another human being. And so today my message is do better. And why the fuck is Trump president right now? Back to the High Priestess card, women are extremely intuitive and psychic too. So if you're shoving away the feminine, their like innocent intuition and understanding, that's how consciousness stays slowed down. If we want to evolve faster, we need to honor and respect the divine feminine more. And I kind of sick of being polite about it.